technical analysis with the double top chart pattern, which won't always take the shape of a horizontally flat square or rectangle. It's not unusual for the upper or lower boundary to have a slight slope. Ideally, the two downswing points would form a distinct and leveled M shape. Here, the two downswings are not full swing points, but rather two pairs of large candles that form the same general shape. This is quite common when patterns take place in a more narrow range like this. And even though the pattern concludes successfully for a bearish reversal, it's also not unusual for the chart to stall and remain relatively flat around the bottom range of the double top before and or after dropping below the lower boundary of a double top range. Here's a double top with full and sharp distinct swing points. The pattern outline centers around the real bodies and closing prices of candles, but don't forget to reveal a more complete picture by also extending the boundaries to the highs and lows. As expected, when returning back up to this range, there is a resistance upon contact, and during more neutral to bullish phases, candles still tend to concentrate near these levels when in contact. And the same can apply when the range's role is reversed to support. Just look at all those closing prices concentrating in the upper 20 range when the chart falls back into it in July. On the next chart, it appears the 139 to 141 range is already a major long-term range that has provided significant support and resistance. This could fit looser criteria of a double top. The second downswing point isn't aligned in that historic range, and extending down to that clear upswing point produces a declined double top that's quite a bit larger than normal. So some may just consider this two downswing points that each produce their own moderately sized downtrends. Here's an example of lots of swing points not directly related to the main outline of this likely double top range. Incidentally, down here, a double bottom defines the lower boundary. Altogether, this forms another larger, wider double top range. Indeed, more leveled and well aligned, along with a larger drop. Upon completion here, there's more volatility and not so clean of a break. Such situations make it more difficult to discern if the pattern has completed, since there are quick and wide variations moving the chart above and below the lower boundary of the double top range. Even when there's a strong uptrend like this returning back into this resistance range, the uptrend will still briefly slow down in the short term, such as at these areas. Later, when this area returns to being a major support range, there are clean bullish reversals around it in the short term, as seen with lower wick rejection when most of the candles form to produce that double bottom reversal. Next is another demonstration of a highly compact double top, defined by a few candles rather than full swing points. A similar situation here with the next double top, which is slightly larger but still mostly defined by candles instead of larger swing points. We can take note of the minor decline for the upper boundary, but it's not a major feature. And just like before, the chart returns back up with a strong uptrend, which will still encounter at least some minor resistance in the short term. And from these simple double top patterns forming, we are presented with lots of useful levels and ranges that tend to remain relevant in the long, medium, and short term.